Do the Broncos have a top 3 roster in the league? This is your Denver Sports Daily for March 31st.
The biggest stories, the latest news. It's Denver Sports Daily.
ESPN analyst Mina Kimes was doing a segment on her podcast talking about the most needed positions for each team, and the Broncos surprised her. She said there's probably like 2 or 3 teams where I was actually like, whoa, this is a really good roster. That's what Kimes said. Now, she recognized that running back and wide receiver are likely the 2 biggest needs for the Broncos, but overall, they have a very solid roster. You get deeper into the depth positions, the depth chart, you're not seeing very many needs for the Broncos. Not the luxury that the Broncos have, that they can actually go and look for a wide receiver or a running back in the draft, because a lot of teams don't have that. The Broncos haven't had that in the past several seasons. They can go out there and they say, you know, why don't we go for a running back that we like? Why don't we go for a wide receiver that can add some more speed on the outside? That is such a luxury to get, where you don't need to go and grab like something that you really have to have: a right guard, right tackle, left tackle, something like a defensive tackle. You know, there's things like that you end up needing down the road and earlier in a rebuild. But the Broncos have pulled themselves out of that, and being in a position like this is plainly incredible. Honestly, talking about how insane the past several years have been. You know, you watch this team, they haven't gone to the playoffs in 9 years or 10 years. They haven't had a winning record in 9 years. That's how they were before they got Bo Nix, and they had these incredible pieces, and they did everything that they were supposed to last season. They surprised everybody, including me. I'll be the first to say it. I was not high on the Broncos coming into this season, and they shocked me along with most of the world. They did. And now they've gotten themselves into a position where they can look at running backs, wide receivers, extra skill positions that they don't really have to have, especially with how good this offense was last season. But they can go out there and say, you know, do we actually really want to get Ashton Genty? Is it worth trading up? Omarion Hampton, is that the guy? Those are fun conversations to be having right now. It's a really exciting time to be a Broncos fan. Now, moving on, it's an Avalanche game day. Tonight, the Avs are taking on the Calgary Flames in their third and final matchup of the season. Now, the last 2 times these teams have played, the Avs came out on top, winning both 4-2. They just dominate the Flames, and they're looking to do so tonight, especially because they're coming off the back of their 3rd loss in over a month. That's it. They've only lost 3 games in over a month. They've been playing incredible. March was definitely their month to have. They did it. Now, they lost 2-1 against the St. Louis Blues on Saturday, so that was their 3rd loss, but they are really playing hot. Now, the Avs are still 3rd in the Central Division, are looking to make a late push with only 8 games left in the season. It's going to take a lot from the takeover Dallas, but they are right in there with them. This March has been incredible. They did exactly what they needed to do. They were winning more games than they've won basically all season in any month. They've played at the highest level possible, and a lot of that is because of the incredible moves that this front office made throughout the season. I mean, you look at the guys now: Mackenzie Blackwood, holy crap, Marty Necas, Brock Nelson. These guys are going to be the guys that lead them, or not necessarily lead them, but give them that extra push over the edge into another Stanley Cup. That's exactly what they needed to do, and they did it. Now, they are heading into tonight's game as 1-point home favorites, and that game will begin at 6:30 p.m. tonight. Definitely going to be tuning in. Last day of March. Let's end it on a high note with the Avalanche. Now, the Rockies started their season in the most fitting way possible. If you were thinking that a win was coming in the first game, boy, were you wrong. Don't get too high on the Rockies. The Rocks started their season in Tampa Bay on Friday, and honestly, overall, they didn't look terrible. They didn't look as bad as I was expecting them to look. Ryan McMahon went 3 for 3. Ezekiel Tovar went 2 for 4 with an RBI. And then Kyle Freeland struck out 7 batters, allowing only 2 hits. They all played pretty well. Now, the Rockies even held as much as a 2-run lead in the 7th inning. But in the 7th, it all started to fall apart. The Rays scored twice in the bottom of the 7th to even up the score. And it stayed even until the bottom of the 9th when Cameron Misner stepped up to the plate for the first time all game and hit a walk-off home run to send the Rockies packing. If you were expecting a win in the first game of the season, boy, were you wrong. How could you ever expect that? It's the Rockies we're talking about here. Let's not get too high on them yet. Now, Colorado was able to get their revenge in the next game on Saturday, winning 2-1, but they ultimately lost the series after yesterday's 6-4 loss. the Rockies. Oh man, I want to love them. I really do. But they go out there and they look like they're going to get a win only to get walked off in the bottom of the ninth. Just exactly what you'd expect from this team. Now, opening day is coming up this Friday. Denver Sports is all going to be out there at El Patio, so make sure you stop by, say hi to everybody. Josh and Cecil are doing the midday show live from El Patio. People are going to be all over. Richie Carney is going to be doing his show out there. It's going to be a big day, so make sure you stop by El Patio, downtown Denver, on opening day this Friday. It's going to be so much fun. Now, the Nuggets were able to easily handle the Utah Jazz. Nikola Jokic and the Nuggets came to play on Friday, getting ready for one of their biggest wins all season. They completely dismantled the Jazz, winning 129-93 to complete the 4-game season sweep. Over 30 points. They beat them by over 30 points. That's the kind of win that gets you riled up, that gets you ready to cheer for this team again. They are looking to make a postseason run. Now, Nikola Jokic continue proving why he's the true MVP, putting up 27 points, 14 rebounds, 6 assists, and 4 steals. But his best play of the night, and honestly is a contender for of the season, he hit an insane full-court shot to beat the buzzer at the end of the first half. I don't know how many more times this man can hit a buzzer beater at the end of halftime. Oh my goodness. Not only did he hit a buzzer beater, it was a one-handed Euro step from beyond the half-court line. How can you do that? That's the type of shot that people miss when they're going for layups. And he's out here hitting it from half court, full court. That's insane. Nikola Jokic, I read a stat earlier today that no player has ever been in top 10 points per game, assists per game, rebounds per game, and steals per game in a single season. No player has ever been in top 10 of all those stats. He's top 3 in all of those stats. How much more can this guy do before he gets his MVP respect? And sure, he's got 3 MVPs, but he deserves another. Now, this game on Friday felt like a confidence booster for the Nuggets. They've had trouble this month. They really had. And even though the Jazz are a poor team, the Nugs need every win that they can get as they head towards the postseason. Now, with only 7 games left in the season, the Nuggets need to keep winning. They need to keep winning and hopefully overtake Houston to avoid playing the Timberwolves in the first round. And this is where I'll go on that. You don't want to tempt the basketball gods. You don't want to tempt the sports gods in whatever sport you're in. But whatever the Nuggets can do to avoid playing the Timberwolves, they need to do it. Do not take on the Timberwolves in the first round. They have the Nuggets number. They turn up against this team. The Timberwolves are more young. They're healthier. They're quicker. And most importantly, they know what the Nuggets do. They know how to nullify Nikola Jokic in a way that no other team has found out. So avoiding playing them in the first round should be number one. That should be priority number one. Getting a high seed, sure, whatever. But where it really starts getting, scary is that the Nuggets are the 3 seed, projected to play the 6 seed right now. The Timberwolves are the 7th seed, play-in team, hoping to move up. So if the Nuggets take over Houston and the Timberwolves win in the first round of the play-in, they would match up. But if they stay at the 3 seed and the Timberwolves end up sliding into the 6 seed, then they play each other in the first round. This is going to get scary. It's still 7 games left, so there's movement to be had, but it's going to get very close on if the Nuggets are going to be taking on the Timberwolves in the first round. I definitely don't want it to happen. We saw what this team did to the Nuggets last year, and it's not anything good. It's not anything that anybody wants to see again. So, it's going to get very close at the end of the season, but hopefully the Nuggets can actually make a deep run this season and not get taken out by the Timberwolves 2 years in a row. Now, that'll do it for you, Denver Sports Daily. I will be back with you guys again tomorrow. We got a bunch of stuff talking about. It is April tomorrow. April starts tomorrow. You know what April means? Draft day is just around the corner. It's about 3 weeks away. Getting so close. What are the Broncos going to do? We'll be talking about that all the time. It's going to be every day. Honestly, coming up towards the draft, I cannot wait to see what the Broncos do. But until tomorrow, y'all have a great rest of your day. I will see you all then. Bye, y'all.